You're sitting on NVDA long dated calls. Why? So, Zeus, I'm going to have to call you out here. First of all, Zeus, when did you get the calls? And what strike price do you have? And what date do you have? Can you give me a quick little, just so I can give you some analysis on it? When did you get them? What do you have? What's the expiration? What's the strike? First thing I'm going to tell you while you're typing is if I were you, I would be over the last 2 to 3 weeks, I would have been 160 call end of year, got a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. First of all, if you got it a couple of weeks ago, let's see. Here we are is 9/9. So this is last week. This would be a couple of weeks ago. So you got it when price was around 180. Let me just make sure I got this right. But no, it's important that you understand why it's a bad move. So right around here, price was at 180. Okay? And you bought in the money 160 calls. Yeah, and there's a reason why I don't teach it. Oh, Lord have mercy. You didn't. So what did you spend? How many of them did you get? They're at least 1,800 bucks a piece, no? How many of them did you get? I'll help you out. I'm going to help you out here. So you got one. What did you spend? 2 grand? Yeah. So you're not down by much. You're probably down by like 700 bucks or 800 bucks, something like that. You're down about eight. No, I'm sorry, not 100. You're not down that much, but maybe down like a 80, 90, $100, something like that. They don't move that much. There's no premium decay, so it came down a little bit, but yeah, you're probably not down that much. All right, so if I'm you, and if I accidentally bought the 160 call and I was looking to buy the 160 put for the end of the year, and I went, uh-oh, and I just spent 2 grand, and I realized 2 weeks later, and I'm only down 100 bucks, guess what I'm doing? I'm closing it. And now some might say, yeah, but what if it goes like this? Okay, but what if it goes lower? You have a binary trade where you literally, the only way this thing makes money, remember, you spent 2. So your break even is 180, right? If you have by the end of the year, if you have the 160 call and it costs you $2,000, then you need price to be at 180 by December 31st in order just to break even. So to justify this kind of expense, you would want it to be at 200 by the end of the year so you could double your money, right? Is that kind of where you're thinking? So you have a couple of options here. The first thing that you could do is you could sell, well, you can't, you only have one call. So you can't do that. Yeah, it still would have been too much money. Nah. Yeah, he's gonna have to sell something. Let me just take a look at the options chain for you. Zeus, do you want some advice? No, you don't want to hedge it. It's an end. He's got it for the end of the year. Zeus, do you have it for December 19th? You have the 160 for December 19th? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is right here. Remember, you're in the money, right? It really doesn't matter which one of these. Okay, so you've got the 160 call. What I want you to do is I want you to sell, what you could do is you could sell the 170 call right now and leg into a vertical. This would bring in $1,375. So if it cost you 2 grand, you're going to bring in 1,375 right now, which means your cost for the vertical is now 6.25. So instead of having 2,000 at risk, you just lowered your risk to $625. That's the first thing that you do. So I would,
Order
because
filled.
you're in the money, that's what I would do. I mean, he could do that, but no, there's too much risk doing the poor man cover call. Because look where price is. Price he's already in the money. So this is a better way of doing it. So Zeus, do this. Go ahead and sell the 170. Do the 170s. Then you'd have the 160, 170s. You'd have one single vertical. And then what you could do, depending on what happens tomorrow, let's say tomorrow the markets start to move lower and Nvidia moves lower. You know what you could put on tomorrow? This is how you do it. Tomorrow, come up over here. Let's say price goes to 165, 164 tomorrow. Then for Friday, you do one of these right here, something like that. You go to 170, 175. You do a call credit spread for Friday. For, let's see, you could get right now you could get $1.30. So maybe tomorrow it'll only be $1.25. See that? If price continues to go lower, you just took your 625 cost for that vertical in the future. You just took your overall cost down to 500. If price continues to move lower next week, you do it again and you do it again. And every week, since you can't do a covered call, every week you do a little call credit spread, making anywhere between 50 and $100, so that by the time you get to, I don't know, maybe October 3rd, October 10th, that 160, 170 call debit spread for the end of the year will be free. And then you have nothing to worry about. You're either going to make money on it or it'll just expire. You just bring in credit to lower the cost and lower the cost. Do you understand what to do? Sell the 170 right now for that same expiration and bring in almost $1,400. If you want, do the 168s. Maybe you should do the 168s even better. Look, you guys following all of this that we're doing together? Look, the 168s, you sell it right now. Look at this, $1,460. You'll bring in $1,460. This is not selling a naked call. He already has the 160. If he sells the 168 right now, if he spent $2,000 on that call, 1,460 means he's down to 540. Yes, T.O. Carter, exactly the strategy. Yep. Convert to a call, and then once you've got the call, you know what else you could do? Do what I said first. Sell the 168, bring in 1,460. Now your cost is down to 500 and something bucks. Wait till tomorrow. After tomorrow, assuming price does not pop through the roof. If it does, good for you. If it doesn't and drops a little bit, go ahead and get yourself, the 170, 175 or similar call credit spread for this Friday that will expire worthless. You do that and do it each week. But then, it's another thing. Once you get your cost down to almost nothing, the next thing that you could do is turn that trade into a butterfly, which you're not ready to do. But if you did, look at this. If you had the 160, 170, and your cost is 500 something, and then you take off about 100 and whatever dollars for this credit spread for this week, your cost is down to 400. Look what you can do next week. You could sell the credit spread and convert it to a butterfly and bring in $440. Now you've got profit. Now you're up $40 and you got a butterfly, and the butterfly is worth $1,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So I don't know if you have the strikes up here to do it. Yeah, you do. Sorry. 362. So sitting on a lonely call, that sucks. Sell the 170 or the 168 if you want. Bring in some premium immediately so that now it's called leg into the vertical. And then you can start selling short dated call credit spreads way out of the money. Get $50 for them, $80 for them, $100 for them, and get your price down to like 300, 250. It'll keep bringing down your cost, and then just leg into a butterfly, and you're done. And you just save your ass.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.